Okay, so if you listen to last week's show, which, as I said, was pre-recorded, you would notice that Simon did the interview with M. Night Shyamalan, and in fact, the film was screened after we had recorded the program, which is why there wasn't a review of Trap, or indeed any sort of response from me to the interview. However, listen to the interview; it's a very good interview. So, Trap, Sanj, you've seen Trap, right?
I have.
Okay. So here's the week late review of it. So this is, as I said, latest from M. Night Shyamalan, who pitched it apparently as Silence of the Lambs at a Taylor Swift concert, which sounds like fun. If somebody pitched that to you in an elevator, you go, okay, that's an interesting film. So Josh Hartnett is the dad who takes his daughter to see her favorite pop star at a concert. And the pop star is Lady Raven, who is played by Salika Night Shyamalan. So again, it's kind of keeping things in the family as he has done before. At the concert, it transpires there's a bunch of cops, and the cops are there because they've discovered that the serial killer, who has been committing all these terrible crimes, is going to be at the concert, and they are going to trap him at the concert. The whole concert is a trap for the serial killer. And it also turns out that the serial killer is... which I think is evident because, as M. Night Shyamalan said, we set up who the killer is very, very early on, and then the whole thing is kind of cat and mouse. So I thought the initial setup was kind of fun. I thought it owed a huge debt to that Brian De Palma film Snake Eyes, which has got Nick Cage as a detective investigating a political assassination in Atlantic City, and it's kind of a boxing match, but most of it plays out in a casino. So it's like this thing going on in the middle of a big crowd. And I thought that movie was fun for most of its 98-minute running time. This movie is fun for half of its running time. The first half of it, okay, fine, yeah, pop concert, serial killer, lots of cops. How's he going to get away? And then I thought the second half of it was absolute baloney, tooth-grinding, eye-rolling, patience-testing rubbish. And weirdly enough, for me, the wheels really came off at the moment when M. Night Shyamalan made a cameo appearance, as he often does, as a kind of avuncular uncle. And after that, it just went to pieces. So I thought it was, I liked Glass and I liked Old, and I still get a bit of a tingle every time there's a new Shyamalan film because, I don't know, is it going to be Unbreakable or is it going to be in After Earth? I thought this is kind of both and neither. It's not as good as his best work. It's not as bad as his worst work, but it does encapsulate the thing that makes him so infuriating, because there's a good bit and then there's a bad bit. And unfortunately, the bad bit is the second half. So you come out of the film thinking what you remember is the second half. Now, Sanj, I respect your opinion hugely. Give me your take on Trap.
I sort of mostly agree with you, actually. I think that, the performances were kind of fine, given what it was. I think Josh Hartnett was well cast. I thought, and particularly in that first half, I believe him. I believe him as a doting dad. I believe him as this other character within it.
And
that was kind of, it was interesting. It was it was in a different place. I thought the songs and Salika, who plays Lady Raven, I thought was quite believable as a pop star.
Well, she is a pop star.
Oh, that's what makes her so believable then. What, you mean less believable as an actor?
No, but it's like, it's just...
So that I kind of bought that. That was kind of great. And so there was a strange lack of tension through the film. And that was the main problem for me, because it was building at the beginning and then that tension dissipates once effectively they leave the arena. But, performance is good. I thought the songs were good. It's always lovely to see this. Josh Hartnett, I worked with very briefly in a 24-hour play at the Old Vic many years ago. And he's lovely. He's absolutely lovely. And Hayley Mills was in there as well. In a slightly odd role, I have to say. I'm not quite sure what the role was. But anyway... It was Dr. Exposition, I think.
That's right. It was literally Basil. They could have called it Basil and that would have...
But yeah, I agree with you. I think that it started off building and then sort of dissipates a little bit.
The second half, Sanj, is rubbish. The second half is, I mean, I know, I'm putting you in a difficult position, but I'll say what I know that is going on in your head. The first half, the second half is absolute rubbish. It's stand up and shout at the screen. No, get back into that arena. Sorry, no.
It's interesting that, any sense of claustrophobia came from a place where there were meant to be 20,000 people.
Yeah.
And actually there was less claustrophobia when
they get in
were
a car.
A room. Yeah.